Hello and welcome to Devstream 78. My name is Reto.Circinus and next to me is Reto.desji, our level designer. And well, we have a completely new Devstream for you planned today with lots of awesome new stuff. Today's topics, we're going to have a short talk about the news. What have we been doing in the past weeks? And well, of course we're going to talk about the new update, which is the G update named Garmin. We're going to talk about the updated assault maps together with Reto.desji. We're going to show you something very special, something very new. A slight hint might be a new type of vehicle. Of course we're going to have a random giveaway again. And yeah, we're just going to have a chat about this for a longer time as usual. The Devstream will last a bit longer as usual, but then again we have been away for 3 weeks, so we're just going to make the best of it. So let's talk about the news. The news is we have a new website. It's live now. We have also, including with that website, is a new forum. We had a little trouble at the start, but that's because even after pruning all those posts, we had 1 million posts to transfer to the new forums, which kind of caused some issues, but they work a lot more fluent now, and we are adding more features on the go, and the website is getting better and more awesome every day. So feel free to use it and look at it. You can find it at www.heroesandgenerals.com, of course. Yeah, let's talk about Garmin update. The Garmin update, we picked the name, I think, 2 weeks ago or something like that. So it's named Garmin, and just to give you a slight heads up about who Garmin was. Garmin was an US Army medic in World War II, and at some point Garmin was responsible or partially responsible for transferring wounded soldiers across the river. But one of the boats got put on fire by the Germans, and basically what Garmin did is he without second thoughts, he jumped into the water, he swam to the boat, and he towed it to safety. So all those wounded soldiers would actually, you know, continue to hopefully survive. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for this. So yeah, he was a good guy. Yeah, that was basically Garmin. So that's we named him actually. The build was named after him because of the water part actually. Yeah. But more about that later. For now, we're going to have a look at the updated maps, and that's why I brought Desji along, who knows everything about these maps because he's the one who updated them.
I sure am. Yeah, we've been showing you on the news, on the blog posts. Been showing you the new maps, and you've seen maybe Cotton Gamer's stream. So I'm not gonna go into an incredible amount of detail, but I'm just gonna run through every single assault map and show you what we've done to them.
Okay, so let's first talk a bit about the general changes, because there has been a lot of general changes which basically affect each map.
Yes.
Could you explain what these changes are and why?
Yes, so every single map gets what we call like the map update, which is like a threefold kind of attack, like 3 things we're doing for each map. The first one, this is only for assault maps, is we're doing the game mode update. If you played on the prototyper, you've already seen that. The idea is that we're going to separate deploy zones and control points. So where before you would spawn on the control point, we're now spawning you away from the control point with spawn protection, which is super nice.
Which is something we will show you soon in game to see how that works.
But that is basically to improve the assault game mode and to get away from spawning, dying instantly because you're spawning right in the middle of the action. Now you're spawned away from the action.
So if I understand it correctly, like previously when an objective was in combat, we could not spawn at the objective anymore.
Yes.
Now, regardless of if the objective is in combat or not, you will be able to spawn.
Yes, and you will most likely have many different options. If you've seen the prototype stream, you will have seen it, and I will show you this later. But basically, you will always be able to spawn. You will always be able to spawn with spawn protection.
That's always nice. I mean, that's I guess it will definitely help with the spawn camping. So
yes, and of course also with stuff like spawn mining the tanks will be completely gone. Also, part of this new spawn system is that we're going away from very specific spawns, and we're more spawning people inside an area, which means it'll be harder to predict where someone may spawn.
Okay.
So that's very nice. So that's the first part. That's the game mode update for assault maps. The second part, which is for all maps, is we're updating the capture zones to follow some new rules. Before we had, or currently we have capture zones that are of many different sizes. Some capture zones may be,
just a barn.
Just a whole big area with lots of buildings, or like the church is a huge capture zone on town map.
Yeah.
But other capture zones may just be a little shed in the woods.
Yeah.
And it didn't make much sense to why you would want to capture that, so we've made some new rules. We looked at all the existing capture zones and we decided what we thought played best in the game.
Okay.
And I'll just show you, I think, the design document for that.
Yes, this is a design document prepared by Reto.Circinus, who has
Yes.
also been developing some of the maps, which basically shows a bit how the new system looks.
Right. Show my screen. Yes.
Desji is best off explaining this because he implemented it in the end. So,
so here are some general guidelines for the updated assault game mode, and over here you see the capture zone rules. Not all of these were implemented, but almost all of them. What you'll notice is that the minimum area size, or the suggested area size, is 50 times 50 meters. Meaning
it's a lot bigger as a normal barn.
It's a lot bigger than just a little house or a room. It has to have a certain amount of space. Another rule is that there has to be AT and ammo crates inside the zone.
So there will be Panzerfaust in every objective,
yes, as
well as the ability to refill your ammunition.
To resupply your ammunition.
But a health kit is not guaranteed, right? Or it's not in objectives at all?
Health kits are not in capture zones anymore, if they ever were. However, I can just hear the tankers crying out in pain. But a rule for the AT crates and the ammo crates is that they have to be placed outside in a relative open terrain. So they have to be placed like in the courtyard of the capture zone or whatever, like outside. So you cannot just camp on the anti-tank weapons and just be like they can't be inside a house or something like that.
Not to mention that, of course, the Panzerfaust crates are as usual still sort of limited. So you pick one up and it takes several seconds or minutes.
We don't
don't know the exact time, but
we don't want to introduce spam.
Yeah.
But it'll be nice to know where you can find these things. Before there were no rules, you just had to learn the map about where are things placed. It's easier for new players if there's a rule. So you can always find this equipment in these specific places. Another rule is that there has to be a lookout position. So this will usually be a house of some sort of architecture that you can go into, and you can see the terrain around the capture zone, and you can spot incoming enemies. You can hide from tank shelling. Stuff like that.
But usually the capture zone is much bigger, right, than just that house, actually.
Yes.
It's just an object placed inside.
The rule is that there has to be one. There has to be one, but there could be multiple houses inside the zone. And the last two rules that I would like to point out is that it needs to have a visible boundary.
So now you will be able to find your objective.
Yes. So before you wouldn't really know easily what was the extent of the zone, but now you have a very clearly defined boundary, say by fence or wall or sandbags, to show you when I cross this point, I'm going into the capture zone. So it'll also help players understand when they're camping.
And this has been done on every map, right?
Every single map,
even the
maps,
depot.
Maps, and it's all coming up.
Yeah.
And also we have this rule about the visible boundary is broken up by entrances into the capture zone, which is now kind of treated like a mini level design. And all the entrances will have barbed wire and sandbags to showcase that this is a fortified, like a place worth taking, a militarily fortified position.
Yeah.
Not just some shit in the woods.
But in general, I mean, with these enlarged capture zones, we're really looking at, I mean, if you go in there on your own, you really need to group up a bit, go with friends, and because the capture zone is so big now, it's really a fight of its own. It really became a fight of its own. So yeah, it's a huge change.
That's the gameplay we want in. That's the gameplay we want in the game.
Yeah.
We don't want this
hiding
inside of the room. Or
I think it will be a very interesting addition. Do tell more, which is going to.
Yes, so that was the game mode update and the capture zone update. The last thing we're doing is we're also updating the terrain for every single map. And what this will entail is that the maps will look a lot better.
Yeah.
They will have better looking vegetation, but not only better looking. It's been also optimized quite a bit. So you should, hopefully we will see a pretty substantial performance increase.
We'll see about that. I mean, that's,
I hope I'm not overpromising.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it runs a lot better.
Of course, it still depends a lot on your computer as well, but we of course do our best to continuously optimize the game, not just with maps. And in general, I think, I mean, the vegetation has improved, but it also became a lot more colorful, which we are soon to see when we are going to show off the maps, which is, I think, is next up. I would like to personally see, how does this capture zone really look in the game itself?
Yes. I think we should go to town first.
Sure.
It's a map that everyone knows.
Yeah, that's the town map is it's one of the older maps which has received a few iterations before, but none like this, so to speak.
Actually, the town map already had a lot of elements that we really liked, and it was also the first map to be moved into the new terrain system.
Yeah.
So it's.
I think it is and still is one of the most played maps, and it's great fun to play it. So it's going to be even more fun now, but it's not live yet, so you can't really enjoy it just yet. You can just enjoy the watching. So let's have a look.
What is the
override?
Override.
And start. Just to make everything a little bit faster, we're just doing some commands which skip some of the waiting and makes it a bit easier to actually show you the map.
All right.
If you would be so kind to fly to Alpha 1 and can you enable the spawns so we can have a look at how these spawn zones actually look.
Yes. So you can already see that I'm spawning with spawn protection.
And that spawn protection basically lasts just like on the skirmish maps and on the depot encounter. It lasts until you actually exit the zone, or if you perform like an action which requires you to be visible. So it's not like you can shoot people when you're still invisible. Once you shoot, you actually become visible.
Alright, so you wanted me to go to A1?
Yeah, the one on the back there, there's a spawn point behind the barn there.
Yes.
Do you have the command to enable it?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
So it looks a bit wonky, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit, but perhaps Desji can explain a bit how this system works.
Yeah, so before, as I said, we would hand place every single spawn, so you would be able to kind of predict where a tank would spawn, for example, because there was only one tank spawn. But as you may see here, the yellow circles are spawns, and they are automatically generated by the game within an area, which is the same area that has the spawn protection. So you can see the small circles are foot spawns for infantry, and you've got small vehicle spawns also being generated, which is jeeps and half-tracks and stuff like that.
Half-tracks are considered large vehicles, if I'm not mistaken.
Large vehicles are tanks and half-tracks. Then. I actually don't know which.
So, the small vehicles are basically the motorcycles and the jeeps and stuff like that. And the large vehicles are considered to be, right now, is the tanks, the ISV, so the infantry support vehicles. Since Garmin, or when Garmin hits live, it will also include the mechanized recon vehicles.
Nice. So,
but basically, when I spawn, it's random which one it picks for me.
Yes.
And next to that, I will be invisible until I either fire or exit that zone.
I'm seeing like 9 large vehicle spawns here, which before would be 1, and it would be very easy to predict 1 or 2. And here we have 9. And you're spawning inside spawn protection, so that's very nice. Okay.
Could you maybe also have just a small look at the spawn protection?
Yes. Draw. Yes.
So a lot of squares. But could you tell us what exactly does this show?
So this shows the spawn protection area, the area in which you're spawn protected. The blue area is the area in which you're protected, and the green area, I believe, is the warning area. Mm-hmm. If an enemy comes close, they'll be warned that they're approaching a spawn zone.
Okay, so basically, I mean, of course, on the live servers, when this is live, you don't see the actual green squares.
No.
But once you enter that space, it will show a warning like you're about to enter an enemy deploy zone.
Yes.
And what happens exactly when I enter the blue area as an enemy soldier?
You cannot fire.
It will completely disable everything.
Yeah.
That's very nice. That's very nice. I just taking a random question from chat. Could you tell us, like, because of the spawn zones, the deploy zones being placed on different positions, will we increase the time you have to actually assault? Or will it stay at 30 minutes?
It will stay at 30 minutes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you will still have you will still have 30 minutes to assault an objective.
Yes.
Just a heads up, this is not Alpha 4, this is Alpha 1 we're talking about. This is currently the deploy zone behind Alpha 1.
This cannot be disabled.
No, you have to use render.clear all debug 1.
Right.
Okay. Just want to talk a little bit more about your objectives. Could you enable the spawn points again, and could you show, like, where will I be able to spawn if if an objective is neutral?
Yes. So,
because this is still a bit confusing. Like, this is behind Alpha 1, so this is basically where you start your battle. If you were to start at Alpha line, this is where you start your battle.
Yes. So basically, if I could explain the rules as simple as I can, if you own a point, a capture point, you will be able to spawn in the deploy zone behind it. If your line goes up to a neutral point, you will also be able to spawn in the deploy zone behind that one.
Okay.
So there's a deploy zone between all the points.
So, yeah, so basically if the objective is neutral or in your hands, you can spawn in front of it and behind it, but only if it's not in your hands, you can only spawn behind it.
Yes.
Okay, so that clears it up. So basically, just since it's also on the screen, whenever we spawn at Alpha 1, so to speak, and the enemy holds Alpha 2, and are fighting for Alpha 1, they will be able to spawn at the zone which is shown in the forest over there?
No, if we hold Alpha 1, they will not spawn here, they will spawn...
I think the one on the left,
here.
Yes. And they will spawn basically towards Alpha 2.
Yes.
So they can contest that.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome.
But if a point becomes neutral, if you have two opposing factions and the point they're fighting for a point and it becomes neutral, both the teams can spawn very close to that point and fight for it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, now we're on the town map anyway. We might as well show what changes have been made.
Yes. Well, with the town map, this is the map that Redbjørn did.
Yeah.
And I asked him, like, what is your main takeaways? What is the most important changes you've made to the town map? And he said that obviously the capture zones have changed a lot.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect chance to show how some of that happened. If you remember this point,
it used to be very small.
it used to be like 2 barns, right?
Yes.
But now you can see the rules have been implemented about having a clearly defined border.
I see also the buildings itself have changed. They look like different kind of barns. Like this one has an opening on both sides.
Yes, we made some more buildings in order to facilitate. We had too few buildings, so we made some new ones. Yeah, so basically you can see the capture zone has some points of protection, and it has a clear defined border, and its entry points has sandbags and
just like the design document said. It's
precisely.
Almost like you followed it.
Yeah, so hopefully that's going to be pretty awesome fighting for that one. I would just like I'm not going to go through all of it.
Yeah.
The town map has changed, of course, a lot, but I'm just going to go through some of the awesome zones.
Yeah.
I think like 2 seconds.
Did you wanted to see Alpha 3 and Echo 4?
Yeah, this is Alpha 3, obviously.
It's changed a lot as well. It used to be just one building, and now it is also actually by the looks of it, it's slightly harder for tanks to just drive around it because of the obstacles. Which
you have a lot of cover, and you can kind of see this. This is a very easy to see that this micro level design idea in implementation. You have points of cover, you have strong positions, and you have like a easy pathing option through the zone. I think this will be a lot more fun to fight over once you're inside the zone.
Yeah, but vehicles are still able to enter, right? So it's just the obstacles which you place. It makes it slightly more difficult to actually enter, but they will still be able to enter.
That's it's not a rule. Some capture zones will be kind of fenced off from vehicles, but if we consider that vehicles should be able to enter, that's also in some capture zones.
Okay. So, but in this particular case, I would still be able to drive my Jeep around the area and or an APC for that matter.
Definitely.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, you really have to start looking for each other here and try to capture it. Not to mention that I see that Redbjørn did his best to add a dead horse again.
Yes.
So I'm very, very pleased to see this.
This is my dead horse?
Yes.
I made this.
Well, congrats on making dead horses.
So pretty. No, I'm just going to show you some of the other awesome capture zones that he added.
Okay.
So I'll go to E4, which is by this river fort.
Wow, this really, I mean, this is a huge change on this map actually. It looks completely different and it allows for much better cover by the looks of it.
Yeah, and it just looks so much better and looks more like the fight for the river fort is going to be much more interesting now.
Yeah, and there's actually something else which changed with Echoline as well, right? Not sure if he told you that. Is that it used to connect to church.
Oh.
It used to once you captured Echo 4, you could capture church, but I'm not sure if you're aware if he told you this, but I happen to have tested the maps myself as well. It's actually that Echo 4 now connects to police station instead of church.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
It's a little closer, I guess, but primarily it's a lot less open space you have to cross, so it's a lot more intense fighting.
Puts you in the town battle rather than running around the side.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
And also one of the other things which has changed here is actually Echo 2. I'm not sure if you can...
Yes, I'm gonna go
before we show off the other awesome stuff.
So here's Echo 3.
Which is no longer placed completely in the forest.
And coming up in Echo 2.
The main difference, I guess, is that Echo 2 used to actually be below. So the barns where Echo 2 used to be have been removed. These are actually the barns where you would snipe from above. So that's also one of the things. So because as far as I understood it simply just makes sense to do it this way, and it creates a much more interesting battles by slightly relocating it.
Of course, this new spawn dynamic will completely change the flow of the maps, and we're hoping that we're trying to create some really cool new situations.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good.
All right. I think I'm not going to show more of town map.
We can. We have much more maps to show. Much more maps.
Otherwise, we're going to be here for hours and hours.
Which we can, but you know, we think you guys might like the other maps as well. So.
And there's something else we have to show you later.
Yeah. So. Yeah. The special thing. This very special thing.
Is that not it?
It should be, but you're German, so we use number 2.
Yeah, there we go.
And F9, F9K, F10. Or just other 4 can work as well.
5 out of 5 stars.
Well, you didn't even create it.
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
This is. I'm really looking so much forward to getting this out, so I can play all these maps. I think they're going to be completely different.
I can imagine. I mean, you've been working for months on it, so it's all-nighters have been there almost. So.
Like every time I go on live now, I'm like, where's those changes?
Yes. Where's my map? Where is it?
All right. So what should we look at next?
We're gonna look at the factory map. I like the factory map.
Yes.
Let's take a look at that one.
Another one of Reto.Circinus.
Ah, well then, yeah. Will be mediocre to show, I guess. But I mean, since he ain't here right now anyway, we can make fun of him, right? Until he kicks my ass afterwards.
All right. Force join. Yeah. So I also asked Reto about Factory and what is like his general thoughts about Factory.
Yeah. Because Factory it's one of the oldest maps around. Yes. Actually, it is at the moment the oldest map. It received the least iterations, didn't it? Or there were some problems, or there are still some problems with changing it, right? You've made some adjustments on it before, but this is of course totally different again. But
spawned it?
Override.
Sorry.
And then start. And the other one is spawn.
Yes. No, but I think everyone knows that the Factory has had some problems in the past.
Minor issues.
And hopefully this rework does some really good things to deal with some of those issues.
By all means, show what has been done.
Yeah, so if we just go to B line, again you can see that I can spawn, because B3 is neutral, I can spawn behind it.
Makes sense.
As long as it's attached to a line that I own. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I'm spawning in spawn protection. You will immediately notice that the terrain update has happened.
Yeah, it's actually it's a lot more colorful.
Yes.
The colors are completely different
than
what I'm used to.
The community saying it's a desaturated gray game. It's that's not what we intended. So just a little more color on that.
I mean, the trees look nice, and actually this area is it's a lot different. There used to be a lot of open space here, but now the trees actually, it looks really nice. I'm speechless.
Just you wait. No, one of the things about factory is that the lines, both the A and B line, has been kind of stretched out. This helps the access point also being moved a little bit further away and having more flanking options, because factory tends currently to you spawn very close to the action and you have a lot of you don't have a lot of options. You just run towards the point and then you get killed by a tank. That's
yeah, but I also see that the line of sight is actually
exactly
changed a lot.
It's
like you used to be able to pretty much see straight from Bravo 3 to Bravo 2, but now
you can see that there's like a terrain height differences that kind of occlude some of those ranges. So
and this is actually Bravo 2 now.
Yes.
And Bravo 1 used to be on the hill on the left, right?
Yes, it used to be up here.
There, and it kind of still is, but it used to be in direct line of sight as well.
But now it's up here. So this is obviously a completely different setup, which hopefully allows for a lot less bottlenecky, kind of annoying gameplay, and much more dynamic.
Yeah, and together with the spawn protection, I think actually the spawn camping, which sadly happened quite a lot on this map, is actually it's. I hope it will improve significantly.
The spawn protection, I think, is going to be great for factory, and of course spreading it out.
But in general, like the entire map, it looks
it looks
nice.
Much better.
I really like the colors and the trees, and it looks awesome.
Let me just show you.
I hate to give Rebjorn compliments because he really.
No, he's awesome. He did really good on this one. Let me just show you A-line real quick. The main factory hasn't changed that much.
No, the buildings, because the capture zones of the factory were actually really big already.
Yeah,
it was already, but they didn't get adjusted at all, as far as I know.
No, some of the textures changed and stuff like that. But if you go to A-line, you will immediately notice that the approach to A3 is
this is A2, right?
A2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A3 just to be clear, this is still A2. It looks slightly different, but
A2. But you can see this area where you normally tend to get pinned down.
Yeah.
Now has a lot more cover.
A lot more factory-like cover.
Yes, and also you're no longer kind of approaching. Of course, with the new spawn rules, you're not approaching from the same direction. You're not so easily pinned down in your point. Defenders will spawn way back in there with the factory or down the road, and attackers will spawn out here.
And simply a lot more cover again. What I can see, it's a lot.
Yes.
I mean, there's still some open grounds, of course. That's part of a map as well. But
another thing that will really help A-line people is that the railway no longer blocks you from going. Before you had to go underneath some specific places and vehicles kind of be blocked.
Yeah.
And that's no longer the case. You can cross it wherever you should like. Yes, I'm just going to go down A-line to show you.
Yeah. And I'm also actually, for the future-wise, I've seen that Rebjorn also wants to actually add more lines, but that's going to come with another big map revision of factory.
We were a little busy with just working on all the maps, so
we did not notice at all. Like, we never even once did we wonder, like, what are these guys working on?
No, but there's of course all these maps will also change in the future, but it's very important for us to get all this done and ready for the game mode update and for Garmin. So this is a spawn area, I believe. Yes.
if I remember correctly.
But you want to find. I want to find A1.
Seeing that the stream is buggling up a bit.
Oh yeah, it's
they're working on it.
So you have A1 and you can spawn kind of behind.
Yeah.
And choose. Better choose how to attack this, and you will notice that this hasn't changed that much. But of course, when you spawn,
Well, looks different.
The fact that A1 is kind of perched on a hill makes sure that you can spawn behind A1 and be safe from those pesky tankers hanging out down by the factories.
Yeah. Well, that should be nice.
Yes. Yeah.
And actually, for all those, I see a lot of comments in the chat that the FPS will be killed. But if I'm not mistaken, most of the trees actually have been optimized as well, and
that's
a lot
what I
of
said.
new trees. So performance-wise, I mean, naturally, quality assurance tests the performance as well, guys. It's not the only thing we look at. It's just how it looks.
Like
That's
I said,
very extensive testing.
Performance should improve. The new trees are much faster to render.
Yeah.
I heard some estimates said like 3 times faster to render.
Okay, so I mean, we still, of course, have yet to see how this actually.
Yeah, we can't promise, but too much. But it's definitely not going to hit performance.
Don't worry too much about it. Of course, these things are taken into consideration as well. It's not just that we want to make the map prettier at the cost of all your FPS. So don't worry.
So I think that's it for factory.
Yes. Let's move on to the next map.
If you have some questions, put them in the chat.
F9, K, F10. Yes. 5 stars again. Wow.
5 stars for factory.
Rebion, you're on a roll today. It's unbelievable.
I love this shit. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next assault map, which is the Airfield.
Yes. I think a lot of people got to play that on prototype.
Yeah.
At least I was playing with a lot of guys on prototype. Yeah. And this is one that I moved up. So I know about that one.
Yeah, so the factory is I mean, we have the Airfield, we have 2 Airfield maps. We have the Airfield and the somewhat newer forward Airfield. Airfield used to be very open.
Yes.
It's which also was noted by the community that it simply caused some issues for them. And I think, I mean, this is actually one of the maps which Desji adjusted.
Yes.
So now come the 1-star rates. Actually, yeah. Let's have a look. You've made several adjustments to this map.
Yes.
Like, of course, all maps, but
so
I'm curious to see what you came up with.
Again, for Airfield, I think when I started working on the Airfield, I thought like, what are aside from implementing all these changes, what are like, what would I like to improve on Airfield?
Yeah.
And I think Airfield has always been like the prototypical open map, long distance fighting, tankers and recon. I love Airfield, and I don't want to take that away from them, but I think open gameplay can also be fun if it has some
open opportunities for the other
some
classes
cover.
as well.
And I did keep it pretty open, but I gave the terrain, even though it still seems extremely open, it has
a lot of line of sight changes.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be much. It's still pretty flat, but if you can see ever so slightly, the runway has been elevated a little bit.
Yeah.
So when you're running along the runway, you will be like partially obscured, and so generally, there's still a lot of long range combat, but you won't be able to just see from one end of the map to the other, and just look into spawn areas and that kind of thing. That's
okay.
I try to prevent that.
I see you have also made some changes to the commonly known Triangle of Death.
Triangle of Death. Yes.
For those who don't know, the Triangle of Death is basically the area between the 3 runways.
Many lives lost here.
Many people have suffered here.
Yes, this is the Triangle of Death by necessity, because it's an airfield. It has to be a flat area so you can land. But this area in the middle, where when you get to the objectives, you kind of have to cross this area. This is in the current version of Airfield is very bad, but I've introduced trenches.
So we can have a little trench mortar as well.
Yes, so you can kind of, if you're moving from, say you're moving from a hangar, you can run into the trench and kind of run along the trench or run into the trees in the middle and use that for cover as you move towards...
and you also made the area a little more hilly in the middle.
Yes.
A lot more vegetation and trees.
It's just a little hill, but it actually makes so that...
Makes a huge difference.
You cannot see from one end of the map to the other.
Yeah.
So that's that should help a lot. And also people... I've heard many people request trenches, so here's some more trenches for you.
Yay! So I guess that's still the old players wanting back the trench map, which was really horrifying.
It's a very bad map. No, and just I just want to show you just some of the capture zone update as well. Yeah. Like here on A2, you get some more trenches.
What?
So here
even more trenches?
We're following the same rules as before, with the clearly defined border, with the entrances with barbed wire and sandbags, and basically here you can. I'm using a trench for that border. Yeah. Hopefully this point will be a lot more fun than it used to be. It
provides for extra cover, but at the same time it's also it's some intense fighting probably going to happen here. But I mean that's what makes it so fun. I guess it's the whole idea of the new capture zone. So
yes, A2. I can also another thing that's changed a lot is the O3, the E bunker.
The E bunker. Is that the general name for it? The E bunker.
Yes, it is called an E bunker because it's shaped like an E. That's the official term.
Okay. I didn't know that. So
no, that's it's a fun structure for.
Well, the poor Messerschmitt, he can't exit anymore. The poor Messerschmitt can't exit anymore.
No, but before you would capture within just this E-bunker here on the right, when you were inside the E-bunker, but now you capture inside the whole area. Once again, it's
So you have two E-bunkers to choose from?
Yes, and the spot in the middle. Or you can sit on the top of the E-bunker.
Okay. That looks very nice.
I find that this point was extremely hard to attack from control tower if you're coming from over here. So you got some cover now. You can move through here, and you can access the objective from more different angles.
Yes. So actually, on the runway you added some more cover as well.
Yes.
So it's basically like it looks a bit like a plane has crashed there, and they had to set up some stuff to repair it quickly.
Yeah.
So and at the same time, it allows you to find some cover.
And if you own O3, E-bunker and control tower, that area is a spawn zone.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know if we mentioned this, but of course a spawn zone can be active or inactive. So if one team owns the E-bunker and the other team owns the control tower, obviously that spawn zone will not be active, so you won't be running into some spawn zone where you can't shoot or something.
So it's actually so it's not like you have to drive straight through a deploy zone.
No.
That's actually very nice. It's good to know. So it will still also be possible, of course, to flank.
And you will notice that, according to the rules, there's some ammunition here.
And some Panzerfaust somewhere.
And some Panzerfaust. But placed in relative open space, so you can't just sit in a corner and just shoot.
Sad news for all the campers. Sad.
Yeah. I think that's basically it for Airfield.
Okay.
But hopefully it will retain some of the really fun long-range gameplay, but also be fun for infantry.
One of the other things just before you leave the airfield is actually out of the prototype session there were some complaints about the beeline, the choke point with the stone bridge. Actually, you did do something about that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So this when we did our test on prototype, a lot of people came back and said they wanted some river crossings, so they can flank.
Magic Desji did what was asked.
I did pretty much exactly what you asked. So here we do listen.
Yes,
we do listen to you.
So basically you added not just one river crossing. I mean, there was a river crossing before, but you moved them up a bit, but you added 2 river crossings next to the stone bridge.
Yes.
To ensure that flanking is still possible, so you don't all die on the stone bridge by tank fire.
Yes.
So yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Well done.
And thank you for that advice from our feedback session. I think it's going to make the line a lot better.
Yeah.
All right. What
Okay.
else? Are they asking questions? Are they happy? Are they upset?
They say the water looks nice. They don't say anything about your nice river crossings.
I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5. Ooh, the ratings are going down, guys. This can only get worse from here, I think. Okay,
right.
so let's have a look at the next map, the next
New
assault
ones.
maps, which is going to be naturally what comes after the airfield. It comes an airfield, which is placed forward of the other airfield. So it's going to be forward airfield. Oh god, the jokes are getting worse and worse.
The forward airfield was already very close to the rules.
Yeah,
of the capture zone.
it's not the most recent map, but
It is the newest assault map.
yeah, it
And,
is. Yeah.
So it didn't need that much updating, but it's got some nice stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna force join.
Cheers on the cola.
What's the time? 3:46.
Yes. We're talking too much again. No.
Trying to make it fast.
No. We're perfectly on schedule. It's okay. I mean, I guess we might skip the special thing. No, we're not gonna skip the special thing. The special thing is too special to be skipped.
Just skip the giveaway.
What?
Just skip the giveaway.
Now.
We cannot do
No.
this.
We can't do that. We shouldn't do that.
All right. So, come to forward airfield.
They're insulting me in chat.
What?
They're saying they're not expecting any good jokes from me.
Oh.
It's like, I can understand it, but still, it hurts.
We're trying here.
Yeah, actually, we're trying to make funny jokes, you know, it's hard.
Something you will notice with something that will help the beginning of the game is that when you start the game,
Yes.
you own the first point, B1.
Yes.
So you'll be able to, and because the next point is neutral, you'll be able to spawn
towards
close.
it.
So
Fast capturing.
yes, so the game will get underway.
Yes. That's yeah. It gives a fresh, good, fast start.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, I feel like the forward airfield also is one of those maps that people tend to like, and was very close to the original rule. So it hasn't changed that much, but
Well, actually, you say that it hasn't changed that much, but you used to be clearly able to see Bravo 1 from Bravo 2, where it was a rather open area.
yes,
And right now, there's a lot more trees added everywhere, and there's a lot more cover.
Yes.
So it's a lot more safe to move small areas.
exactly. Yeah, just when we're going through this and adapting it to the new rules, it's just been a nice time to iron out some kinks that were in the level design. You'll notice these are new buildings, or you know.
Actually, that building was there, the closest one, but
Yes.
the other two it's been made much larger. So it's really, even though it's not a capture.
It's not a capture zone. It's a spawn area.
will-
Deploy
But it will still allow, when the deploy area is not active, it will actually allow for some
Yes, then
intense fighting over there.
you can go in there and
Yeah.
have some cover on your way between when you're advancing on beeline. And the beeline barn is changed. Yes.
Yeah, I think you wanted to show the stone bridge in
Yeah,
church.
I'll show you the stone bridge. Something about forward airfield and actually in general maps, assault maps with 3 objectives.
Yes.
Is that they tend to, there's going to be one of the objectives which is connected to the 2 other.
Yeah.
And that objective is going to be like just from the game rules, it's going to be kind of a choke point.
So it's more difficult to...
It's difficult to progress past, and everyone knows, I think, on forward airfield that it's the stone bridge that is the choke point.
Yeah.
Which connects to both the airfield and the church. So, in keeping with the new rules, the capture area has been significantly enlarged. So you cannot just capture inside the house.
So no more endless HE spamming inside the stone bridge.
No. Also, it's been covered up, so you can't HE spam. Yes. But you can also capture down here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes. And you can capture on the stairwells here.
Oh.
And capture on the roof. You know.
So and I see you also added, which is actually quite a nice touch. You added some barbed wire on the.
Yes. I feel like this is what we want to show the boundaries of the capture zone, and we're using like barbed wire to show it, so you can see
it looks really nice
that you can capture.
This has also gained a bit more cover. In general, this was a hard objective to take. Let's be honest. It's still going to be hard because that's the intention. Because it's connected to objective 2 and objective 3.
Yes.
But there is some, especially against tanks. It seems like you added some good cover.
Like a fun little battle that a spot that a lot of people used to sit here and just kill people as they were approaching, and now there's a little bit of
cover.
These cover points. Make that fight a little more interesting and a little less just campery.
Yeah, and I also see next to objective 2 you added something in the water.
Yes.
Oh, what is it?
It's a river ford. So
you're able to actually cross there. It's a river crossing next to.
Yes. Also to ease up the choke point of it. This has been much requested by the community, and especially by tankers, that they can cross the river in other places. I have also added some river crossings down here.
Oh, nice.
So, because also the bridge here from Beeline is also a bit of a choke point.
Yeah.
So there's one on each side.
That's
so nice. Now you have 3 points of crossing instead of 1. Should hopefully bleed that.
Very nice. That was actually indeed it was much requested by the community to ease up a bit.
Yes.
So it's very nice that you managed to have time to implement it.
I lurk on the forums all the time, so if someone has said something about one of my maps, I'm sure I've read it, for better and worse. Here I actually want to show something where the new spawn rules kind of come into effect and give a much nicer flow for the battle.
Which objectives are we looking at here?
This is C1 and C2.
Okay.
Draw spawn points. Yes. So, as you can see, there's been added some forest here.
Yes.
And some spawn areas inside the forest. This spawn area up here belongs to C1, and the other one belongs to C2.
If it's neutral. Or yours.
Yeah. So in the common situation for this line is that you will own as attacker C1 and C2, and then the challenge is to cross this open space where the defenders will be waiting for you by owning church and C3. And now that fight will be much more. Like before, it was very easy to anticipate where the attackers were coming from.
Yeah.
Because they were just coming from the points, and every time they broke out of the point, you would just you could shell them, you could just pin them down in the point, and vice versa. So crossing the spaces didn't feel very cinematic. It was more like they're just spawning in a single point.
Yeah.
But now, if the attackers own C1 and C2, they can choose to spawn in both of these
flank every way,
and they could basically appear from out of the forest edge, and I feel like that's a much more if we
Interesting approach.
yes, so
Yeah.
basically you will have attackers coming from the forest and defenders coming from inside the city,
Yeah.
and they will come out into the open field and battle in the middle. I feel like that's much better.
It will create
Yes.
different kind of fights instead of getting spawn raped.
Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Actually, you can capture a church now from
The graveyard.
the graveyard,
Creepy.
and this whole area is a spawn area, and also you can also capture it from the roof, which is
Interesting.
it's gonna be an
It's gonna be hard to find people.
yeah, you're gonna have people hanging out there sniping out.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Okay. Well, curious to see how it turns out.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yes.
other than that, it hasn't changed that much. Other than it gets all the other things, the terrain update, the
You did remove something.
oh yeah. I forgot.
Just,
I had happily forgot about X1, which is now no longer a capture zone, but it is now the spawn area, or
Okay.
the deploy zone between the bridge and the church. So if you're this also removes like your horrible emergency spawn situation where you would spawn
next to each other.
here
Yeah.
once because they're not emergency spawns anymore.
Yeah.
So if you own the stone bridge and the church, you will be spawning in X1.
Okay. It's yeah. And
Most
yeah,
likely.
it will probably make a lot of mostly veteran players very happy because everybody wanted to get X1 first instead of going for the important objectives. So
If you remember the first when Forward Airfield was first released, it did not have X1, and it had a lot of nice fighting between the church and the stone bridge.
yes.
And then I thought I would make X1 and it would balance everything, and then I think it just made the thing worse. So
Okay.
happy to be rid of it.
Yeah. Good riddance.
No, I think it'll play much better now. Should we go to the next map?
Yes, we're going to the final assault map.
Yes.
Not just any assault map, but I dare say it's the assault map which has received by far the biggest changes.
Yes.
It will feel very much changed. It's a lot of things have changed.
That is the mountain town.
That is the mountain town.
And with
It's iteration number
so that's a lot.
a lot.
But basically, when we're doing all these maps, been working on this for half a year, then the mountain town was the last map that I should do. And I was very good, and I made the other maps faster, so I thought I have a little more time with Mountain Town,
Yeah.
and I thought I can make some of the changes that I always thought that Mountain Town should have.
Like adding a town.
Yes.
One of the many examples.
So if we have to, like, this is a joke from the community forums, but my main mission with updating Mountain Town was to put the mountain back in Mountain Town and to put the town back in Mountain Town, because before, or currently on live, it's there is not much mountain and there's not much
a little. Not much town.
not much
No.
town either. So this one gets a pretty big update. We really should make like a thing for this.
Yes, there we go. So yeah, basically you, I mean, I've thoroughly tested this map as well, or at least I've been playing around in it a lot. I personally, I really like it, but it's very hard to compare with the previous Mountain Town because every single thing feels different, looks different.
Yes,
It's
it's a pretty substantial update.
I mean,
Basically, every
for-
capture point was changed, an objective was changed, and the terrain was changed.
Yeah.
So everything was changed.
I mean, for the people who have played Mountain Town, this is the new Alpha 2, and personally, I don't see much resemblance with the old Alpha 2.
No, it's I think also here one of the substantial changes is removing X1. On Mountain Town, this is X1 used to damn bells.
Yeah.
The X1 used to be this house in between the barn and the train station,
which was a choke point.
Which was a choke point. If you looked at the average, if you look at our statistics for maps, you look at how long each map was played. Mountain Town was like played for hours.
Yeah.
Because it would just completely gridlock in between the.
Yeah, there were some players who really loved it, and there were some players who really hated it. So.
Yeah. So now X1 is gone, and O1 and O2 connect directly together.
With a town. So
yes, with the town in between them.
It's scary, guys, but I know there's a town on Mountain Town. You did not see this one coming.
This one, O2, is completely changed. Obviously, it used to be a barn.
Yeah.
Now it's this dock area. I kind of imagined that this point, I was always wondering, like, why is there a huge train station out here by the river when there is like obviously not a lot of people live out here? And now I thought maybe you're transporting some goods along the river.
Yes.
And then you need to transfer it to transport it by rail, or the other way around.
Yes.
So now that's kind of the story of the map. You have the docks on one side of the river, the town in between the 2 points, and you have the train station on the other side. Yeah, so basically the docks is a huge capture zone.
Yeah, it is. But it's yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing like how that plays out. I played some power positions. Like this is
a risky,
very risky position because you're exposed from behind, but you can probably pick off some people that are moving along this here, or you can run up here and jump on the roof of the.
Very scared to get ammunition there.
Yes, it's a high stakes position, but you can jump on the roof, and you can also again you can capture on the roof as well, and inside here.
Yeah.
So
it
and
gives
here
a bit more of a factory-like feeling, because basically when boats would arrive here, they would probably stock up.
Yes.
In there, so it's makes sense that it's
like a storage depot or something.
Yeah.
And like all the other capture zone updates, they just gotten like the sandbags and the barbed wire to make it look like it's a fortified position, like soldiers have been anticipating an attack and have gathered, like fortified the important positions in the map. So from capturing this, you have
more town. We can't handle this amount of town.
There's so much town, but fighting.
Let's remove it in age. Just remove the town.
Let's never remove it. It's yeah, basically, if the game is going to gridlock or like slow down between O2 and O1, it shouldn't do as much, of course. But if it's going to do it, then I would really prefer it to be this fight through the town, which will be much more interesting than just yeah.
It still allows for vehicle passing as well, but it provides a little more cover for infantry.
Yes.
It's not just the iron bridge, but there's also some sort of pipe bridge.
Yeah, it's like a pipeline or some like transfer of.
I mean, like you would have to run for your life to go over there, but
yes. But the thing is, like, if you own O1 and O2, like if you're the defender and you own both places, this area here is the spawn area. So you can spawn between, and you can use this pipe bridge to easily move between.
So when you deploy there, you can just walk over. And, that's nice.
It should allow, because I don't want people to be caught too much on either side. Mm-hmm. If they like, it's better that they have more dynamic movement. Yeah. There are also a bit more points you can cross, and the river is not as wide.
Yeah.
So if you are the occasional swimmer, or
if you like swimming, if
you're doing something else, then if you more on that later.
Yes.
then
Shh. Nobody speak.
then it won't be as long to cross. Yeah. So other than the obvious huge change to the objectives, I just want to show you like how I wanted to put like a little bit more mountain in each in some of the lines, because I want you like I never felt like the lines on Mountain Town had their own feel to them.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like you don't really remember. Well, you remember A line because you got pinned down there,
Yeah.
but you don't remember like a specific feel to them.
Yeah.
So yes, just go to B line.
I'm just reading a suggestion here from the community. In memory of X1, add a dead horse.
I'm all for dead horses.
Yeah.
No, so you can see like this
It's
area
Bravo
here.
line, right? We're now on Bravo line.
Yes.
Yes.
B line is has like much more of a mountainous feel to it.
So this is Bravo 2, just for the record.
Yes,
And
you have to capture this this underpass, and you can capture both on top and below, and kind of the gameplay like it's much more elevated.
Yes.
You go up through the pass, and then you go down on the other side on both sides. So you're not fighting on a flat plane. You're fighting up and down like you would in the mountain terrain. Yeah. So here you got a little
Bicycles.
shed with some bicycles and some health crate.
It's good that the bicycles are still there.
Sorry, I'm going too fast. Yes, and this is Bravo 1.
Which has a new building as well.
Ah yeah, a smaller building. It's a one-story one.
But you can't actually get up there, can you?
You can.
You can?
You can. Reto.Christiano, he made a hatch,
Ah,
so you can go up.
sneaky, sneaky.
Yes. So you can go up. It's nice. New buildings. Yeah, and you spawn back here, way over this hill. So that's much more of a mountain
Yeah,
feel.
It's completely different from
Obviously.
the other mountain town.
And hopefully this is like a line that you will remember having played. Like this feels like a specific line in the game that maybe you like. And also show you D-line.
Just while you fly there, another quick question from a community member is actually when you jump into the water, in the water at the town, are there ladders to climb up?
Yes, sorry, I'll just show you that. I believe someone has watched the Cotton's stream where...
It didn't have one? Or?
Yeah, it didn't have one, but it was always supposed to have one. See, there's a ladder here. Ladder on the other side. There's ladders here. You can get back up.
So it is actually possible to
And
take a dive.
if you want to do this like long flank around here, there's a hole in the wall so you can kind of get into the town more easily.
Nice.
Yeah,
So much town.
that'll just... And of course you can also... There's also... there's ladders here as well.
Ah, so you can climb out everywhere basically.
Yeah.
It's good. So all the swimmers can continue to swim.
And they don't have to swim as far anymore. So I just show you just D-line just to exemplify how it turned much more mountainous. Look at that beautiful terrain. It's just wonderful.
And beautiful colors.
So you see up here
Beautiful.
there's like this hill or like mountain ridge with like an estate on top. So fighting upwards to here, you can have snipers in the windows, you know.
Behind the
that sort of
rocks.
thing. Yeah.
This is really a steep hill, and it goes down right away again. This
Yes.
should create some interesting battles.
So that like the idea of this point is like that the D-line kind of is, focused around this battle to get to the mountain ridge. So you're coming like down from the town, you're moving up to the mountain ridge, or like from the other side, you're fighting to get like the upper ground.
Oh, it looks exceptionally nice.
Yes. That's it. I don't think there's much
Yeah.
more I want to say about Anything?
I mean, in general, of course, the map has been changed a lot more, but
Yeah.
we can't, unfortunately, show you everything. But once it hits live, you can explore it yourself.
Yes, it'll be. I'm really looking forward to getting feedback on all this stuff, and
Yes.
we have to, of course, iterate further, make more stuff, but hopefully we've made like a huge step towards a much better gameplay experience. Yeah, just show you some of the other lines.
This is Echo
Line,
3,
yeah.
which is basically a small train station, actually. Or
Yes.
it feels like a small train station.
If some of you played on prototype, you'll notice that there's a lot more cover. This is also because we look at the test data that you guys provided and see. I would like look at heat maps, for example, and I will see a lot of people are dying here because there's not enough cover, and I need some cover. All right.
Yes, I think that is all the
That is all the assault maps.
maps. That's all the maps we're going to show today. So I guess it's time for.
I'm going to give that a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, sure. Sure. This gives time to do our giveaway.
Yes, let's do a giveaway.
It is giveaway time, and today's giveaway contains 30 days of veteran membership. And to join in, you have to type !VET. So not !gold, but !VET, VET.
So
And we're going to start that giveaway right now.
Get ready?
I guess, yes.
go.
And everybody's typing !gold. Awesome.
Go.
Actually, I want to participate as well. I want my veteran membership. Do it.
Do you go stop entries and then pick winner, or?
Yeah, let's just let it run for a moment.
All right.
And while we do that, we can boot up the town already.
Yes. We have to switch.
Oh, you can't switch that off? Minimize. I mean, load it up already. Oh no, never mind.
Should we pick a winner? Do you go stop entries and then pick a winner?
You think we can stop already, or is there still so many players committing their...
It's a lot of guys.
I'm just looking at the master behind the scene right now, who doesn't look back. Do you want to stop already?
Okay.
Stop entries and pick winner, right?
Yeah. And the winner is Vector V360. Vector V360. Please type something in chat, and so Reto Dixon can get in contact with you and send you the voucher. And congratulations, of course.
Where is he?
I do think it's rigged. I agree, it's rigged because I didn't win.
Has he written?
Well, it takes a while for it to actually show up there. Yes, he did.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Congratulations.
Yes. So now we are going to say goodbye to Reto.desji for this dev stream, but we have more to show you, so stay tuned while we switch out some people so we can show you the awesome special stuff.
We are going
to town.
back to town.
Take me to town. Sorry. Should not say.
Stop it.
Definitely
This
not
is a
say.
serious program. All right. I'm going to leave.
And while we switch, I will introduce him. This is Reto.Christiano, who is our technical graphic designer. Yes.
Hello there. So I'm back.
Back from hell.
Let's just force join this.
So yeah, guys, like I said before, this is an extra long dev stream. I mean, we have been away for 3 weeks and we have so much awesome stuff to show you. So now we are going to show you the next special thing which everybody knows nothing about. And I like it. So yeah, just like the map designers, I suppose you have been quite busy as well with the Garmin update. So could you give us, you know, a slight hint of what have you been up to in these past weeks?
I'd rather show it. So
I would rather show though that promises good stuff, guys. Yeah, should be weather. If you type weather and then tab, yeah, 2.
So now we are back on the town map.
Oh, what? It's again another map? What? It's so different.
And that's just because I want to...
What? We can fly on the new maps as well? What? Can it be more special?
Let's go to this river crossing, because I've been working with some water setups. So let's just spawn some random vehicle.
Yes, do tell. What is it exactly what you have been working on with the water? Because the water looks different, but there's more to it.
There's a lot more to it. If you remember previously, all the vehicles, when they go into the water, they pretty much just fall through it like it's air. And there's a kill switch on every vehicle, so if that goes below the water, then the vehicle dies. But now we actually added a resistance to the water, and I've purposely chosen a very light but still a rather large vehicle, so when it drives into the water you'll see resistance.
It's driving slower.
So you'll drive slower through the water.
And actually, just to make sure, we've talked about the animations for this. There's still some more sounds and animations to be added, right?
Yeah, well, we still need to do some splash effects and some water effects for when you drive through the water. So that's still to come. I've primarily been working with Reto to set up all the vehicles for different characteristics when they drive through the water. And also, just driving through the water is one thing, but if you get out to where it's too deep, then they'll actually start to sink slowly, rather than, well, depending on the vehicle.
Tries to float.
So, some vehicles will float for a little while before they start sinking. And it's just loads of fun to just drive vehicles into the water now. Let's try Copenhagen. So if anyone has seen a vehicle, a car driving into the water, you'll see that they sink fairly slowly, and so does these.
Come on, float! No, it doesn't want to float. Guys, the Copenhagen cannot float. It's disappointing news, but...
And I've set this up for various vehicles, such as, let's try a Sherman.
So yeah, the effect of even entering the water already creates a splash effect, and it actually, I mean, we can't hear it, but you probably can. Is it also the new sounds are attached to it, so it makes a sound when the water splashes, or when it sinks, it makes a sound. There's various sounds. The sound for the engine sinking and the actual vehicle or the engine flooding. It's not really sinking.
So as you can see, the Sherman sinks pretty much straight away. So let's just try some a light tank. Here we have the T-38. So let's see how that one sinks.
Except, wait,
what's this?
Oh,
it doesn't sink.
That's what's going on.
That's because the T-38 is an amphibious tank. So it'll float.
So we have a floating tank for the Soviets.
You have a floating tanks for the Soviet.
Well, that is bound to be some interesting stuff.
It is.
And
a lot of people have been complaining about this for a long time, because it's supposed to be an amphibious tank, but it's never been able to sail. So now it can. So now the Russians have some other means of crossing the water and fighting from the water, which is awesome.
Oh, that is definitely something new.
It is.
And it's not incredibly fast, but this
No.
should be quite powerful.
And of course you can climb out of the water. So now that the Russians have something that'll allow them to cross the water, we of course also gave something to the Germans.
Oh, what? Why do we give stuff to the Germans?
Because they are the best.
German BS confirmed.
So this is of course the Swimwagen, and a lot of people have already guessed that we would be including this. And
It's the Type 166 Swimwagen. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
And it's a lot faster on the water.
And actually, when you entered the water, there were also some animation changes.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could show that again, because it has a propeller on the back.
Let's see if I can capture it like this. So when you drive out of the water, I couldn't see that.
The windshield actually goes down
Yeah.
when you drive out of the water.
So
But next to that, it basically has the propeller, which
have a
moves
propeller.
down when you hit the water, doesn't it?
I'll try to back up into the water and so we can see it.
So it deploys automatically. And it goes backwards, even though they weren't
Yeah.
really...
The Swimwagen didn't have a reverse gear when it's in the water, but for gameplay reasons we simply had to add it. Otherwise, if you go front toward a wall or something, then you would not be able to back out.
Yeah, it's very slow though in
Yeah.
backwards mode.
It's 1/3 the forward velocity. So you can reverse, but it's not an efficient way of traveling.
And this is really the perfect opportunity, not just with this one, but also with the tank. It's the perfect opportunity to don't just transport your friends over the bridge, but you can actually transport them over water as well. I mean, this I believe it allows for
Five passengers.
5 passengers to sit on it, so you can cross it with 6 guys. You can pretend to be a shark in the water and cross rivers. But I believe this is actually not the only vehicle we have.
No, let's just hear the horn before we switch to the next one.
Yeah, the sounds have also been updated, and of course, which you've also heard when it actually swims. There's different sounds for the engine, and I've played around with it. They're absolutely awesome, and they're great fun to play with. Absolute great fun to play with.
So for the Americans, we have the Ford GPA or QMC4.
The QMC 1/4, no, the QMC 4 1/4 ton amphibian vehicle. Oh, okay.
I'm being told that we don't have sounds.
Like our microphones neither, or? Oh, in-game sounds.
Oh.
Oh, it's just the in-game sounds. So you can't hear the in-game sounds. Let me just tell you, the in-game sounds are awesome, and you'll get to test them very soon. Don't worry. But yeah, this is the QMC 4 1/4 ton amphibian vehicle, which is the US one.
Yeah.
And it has a Lend-Lease version for the Soviets. So the Soviets basically have 2 amphibian vehicles.
They do.
And it's a little wider, or it looks a little bigger.
It's a bit longer, but it handles just about the same as the Swimwagen.
It looks like a boat.
It's pretty much so.
Yeah, it's a boat with wheels.
The funny thing about this one is that the Americans made it, but they absolutely hated it. They didn't find it efficient at all. It would sink when the waves and such. So they pretty much just gave them to the Russians during the Lend-Lease program. And the Russians just loved it. This is the greatest thing ever. So after the war, they started building their own versions of it, the GAZ-11 and the GAZ-46, which is basically the same vehicle except some minor differences, and it's built by the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in service for quite a long time.
Well, it looks amazing.
So while we have it, let's just see some of the different textures for it, because we of course also have skin variations for it.
Yes, it will be released initially with
so this is of course the
2 skins for the US. or
Yeah.
one?
Let's just go through them.
Yeah.
This is, of course, the default US one. This is the Russian one, the Lend-Lease
Yes.
version, which still floats. I have to go up to land to change the skins, otherwise it'll bug out a bit. So let me just do that. And as you can see, I named this one Malotka, the little one.
Yes.
So another variation, this is the US one again. This one is a temporary work in progress, so ignore that.
This
We have,
is the olive drab and black, which will be available for the US faction.
Yeah,
One faction, that's fine, stick to the script.
Sorry.
so this is the US camo for it. It's pretty much the one you've seen on
Yes.
a lot of the other vehicles.
So the US version will be released with the factory standard, of course, and with this one.
Yes.
And it will not, I mean, initially it will not have any other skins available.
No.
Yeah, let's, for the Soviet ones, they will have also skins, which this one should be the...
This is the Vashugan skin.
Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Vashugan Light version. Which is basically, yeah, I mean, it looks camouflage-like.
Yeah.
Which it should.
And it'll still float.
Yeah, that's very important, that even if you put different skins on it, it still floats. And it still gets out of the water as well. So
Yeah.
it's
And the last one is
the
Kutuzov.
Kutuzov two-tone is another Soviet skin for the Lend-Lease. So
So this one is green with some red-brown spots.
and just like the other vehicles, it swims.
Yeah. So the Soviets will have their default Lend-Lease texture and then two variations.
Yes.
I think we forgot to show the variations for
German
the
ones.
swimwagen. So let's
slowly
just
go
do
back to
that.
the German ones. Can you show it from outside as well? Can you walk around the vehicle a bit? I mean,
Let's do a little walk around.
so this is it really looks like a boat, and with the propeller on the back, and
And this one has an animation as well. When you go into the water, it'll flip up the screen.
yes, but since the propeller is already
Yeah.
basically
This one
always
has
there,
it has
to
a
speak.
fixed propeller
Yeah.
down under the hull.
so it will that will not move, but the windscreen will automatically go up. So yeah, you don't want to get your character wet, so you gotta come out dry.
And you can, of course, exit the vehicle while in water, and you can get back in from the water. So let's swim back and get a
And
swim
of course,
out.
these things actually they drive on land as well. It's not like you can.
Yeah.
And I mean, on land they're actually a little faster as well, I think.
We also have some physics in the water, so if I drive into this one, it'll push it.
So you can push a boat with a boat. Yeah, I mean, what more do you want? It's
The boats can also sink if there gets enough water into it, but it's difficult to make them sink.
yeah.
But
But if you were to like drive off a cliff, the chance of your swim wagon, for example, actually sinking gets a bit higher.
yeah, you can also have these wrestling matches where you have two boats just trying to make
Clash,
each other
yeah.
sink. So for the variations for the Germans, we have the ambush DP pattern,
Yes.
which we've also seen on a number of other vehicles. And we have
The olive, the light olive
Yeah.
version.
the Dunkelgelb, dark yellow. So those are the two variations available for the Germans for the Schwimmwagen.
Yes. And yeah, they both look kind of awesome, but in general, I mean, the Schwimmwagen, but also the other amphibious vehicles, they're hilarious to play with.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
And also the general vehicles, all the vehicles are handling a lot different when they get into the water, and which is great with all the new water crossings we have on the new maps.
But both of these vehicles actually they do not have a supply crate.
They do not have.
So you do have to sacrifice something in order to use, but it creates such immense new flanking abilities and abilities to more easily get across with your teammates that it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
For instance, I can sail along the canal here and completely different, hidden from the town.
Yeah.
And you will also notice that despite the innards of the vehicle is below the surface of the water, it's dry in there, which was actually a sort of a tricky thing to do.
Yeah.
You still have some stuff like grass might clip through it, but at least the water surface is cut out.
And just for the record again, because I see the question pop up again, you can actually exit the vehicle in water and you can re-enter it, right?
Yes, I'll just demonstrate. I'm in the water, trying to keep up with it. It still has some momentum, and I'm back in.
Is it actually possible to steal it in the water as well? Can you unlock it in the water?
I think so. I've actually not tried that.
Yeah,
I would think so, yes.
Good question. It's, usually I tend to swim in water, but others might steal amphibious vehicles. Yeah, it makes sense. So,
so I think this will be very, very great for a lot of things.
yeah, it's.
It'll be a game changer.
I mean, now with the diversity of the various vehicles you have, you really have to people are going to have to start to decide like what vehicle do I want on which character, and because you can use it for different purposes.
Yeah.
But it looks, especially I personally especially like the animation of the propeller moving down and the windshield moving up. Like I've really hit the water now and I'm ready to go. And it's sad. Sadly, you can't hear the sounds at the moment, but they all have special sounds, added water effects and stuff like that. So it's once it goes live, you of course get to play with it yourself, and you will notice the sounds are very different as well.
Yeah, I see a question that one is asking: can you run over a swimmer with it? At the moment, you can't. We had it up for discussion whether or not you should be able to, but for the moment we decided that it was best not to. So if you run into a swimmer, you just push him away.
Yep.
Is that about it for the new vehicles?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Maybe show the tank one more time. Just for fun. I love the amphibious vehicles. I just want to see more.
Here we go. T-38 in the water.
This one is actually obviously it's heavier, so it's also a lot slower in comparison to the other. So it of course it's an upside for the Soviets that they can drive their little tank into the water, but if you actually want to cross fast, I think you're better off using the actual amphibious vehicle jeep kind of. But
at least they have the benefit that they'll be able to shoot from the water.
Yeah, it's absolutely it's a marvelous job.
So this will be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah. You could see it wiggling in water a bit as well when you move up and down. It's like,
And if you stop accelerating, it'll still keep its momentum for quite a while.
Yes.
This one has a lot more drag than the other ones because it's not exactly boat-shaped.
Yeah, and this is basically the starter tank for the Russians, but the amphibious vehicles like the actual the Schwimmwagen and the QMC, they will unlock at chauffeur ribbon grade 11. So it will be a bit of a later unlock, but then again you will have a very powerful piece of machinery in the game to transport your clanmates or your friends, your people who are in the battle with you across the field and across the water. So it's a job well done.
Thank you.
Curious to see how it turns out in live. See how much fun actual players are going to have with it. I mean, even on my own on the test server, I had so much fun with it. It's ridiculous. I felt like a small child, you know, getting his first present. Like, oh, it's a Schwimmwagen.
One of the things that we are working on, which will come in later, hopefully, is some more ripple effects in the water, because right now there are none. So.
Yep. So it's still a bit of a work in progress, but primarily the areas around it, some of the sound effects, the water effects.
So we got all the functional parts in, the rest will just be eye candy.
So yeah. Well, that was kind of the special thing we wanted to show you. I hope you guys really enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. Yes, I think we showed everything today. It was a long dev stream. We've been at it for over 1.5 hours. So today in this dev stream we had a short talk about the news, the new website and the forums, which had some issues but are definitely being worked on. And well, we have been talking about the Garmin update, named after a World War II soldier who towed a boat with wounded out of the river. We have showed, together with Reto.desji, we have showed all the updated assault maps. All the maps, of course, receive changes, but we can only do so much in one dev stream. But we showed all the assault maps. And of course, our special thing, we showed the awesome new Amphibious vehicles, which is the QMC 1/4 ton amphibian vehicle, the Schwimmwagen Type 166, and the Soviet light tank, which is the T-38 model 1933, on the top of my head. So if you missed anything during the dev stream, if you missed anything during the dev stream, you are welcome to watch it back on YouTube. You can also follow this Twitch channel, and if I'm not very much mistaken, I have to point to the right, which you can subscribe to our Twitch channel. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Steam, and of course our brand new website, heroesandgenerals.com. Join us on these community hubs. Enjoy the game with us. We will be back on Friday the 23rd of September, which should be in 2 weeks again. So we'll see you then. Have a great weekend, and hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks for tuning in.
See you in 2 weeks.